school's out, blame corona, but I still got some science I could show ya. No class, no school, that's cool, throw the class on the YouTube. Even if they shut the school down, I'll get that knowledge anyway somehow. Real scholars won't stop for corona. Tune in for that science takeover.
Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome to Mrs. Finney's science class. Shout out to the HB Warriors, to all of our subscribers, and to all of our visitors from my house to your house. Let's learn science. Today we're in lesson 9 in section 7. We want to take a look at section 7. The title is Genes and Human Traits. Genes and human traits. Okay, moving on. Learning objective. I can explain how human traits can follow the same dominant and recessive pattern of inheritance in Mendel's discovery. You need to be able to explain this, and let's figure this out. Let's look at our reading selection here. Starts off with a very interesting question, and this is our essential question for the day. What does the texture of your earwax have to do with Mendel's pea plants? Just cleaning his ears, you know, just getting a little wax out. Mendel was lucky and careful in the simple traits he picked to study. The traits he chose helped him identify a pattern in genetics that does not apply to all pea plant traits. Interestingly, earwax texture is a human trait that follows the same dominant and recessive pattern of inheritance Mendel found in pea plants. Earwax, human earwax, pea plants have a connection. Go figure. Most genes, especially in humans, do not show the simple dominant recessive pattern Mendel identified in pea plants, but earwax texture does. Wet earwax is dominant and dry earwax is recessive. Do you have wet earwax or dry earwax? I don't know. Do you even know? You know? Observe. Figure that out. If you'd like to tell us in the comment section, you can. Not a must. A little personal. I get it. But if you want to share that, if you figure that out, let me know. Earwax texture is controlled by one gene with 2 alleles, designated dominant E and recessive E in this example. People with alleles dominant E, or dominant E, recessive E, have wet, sticky earwax. People with alleles recessive E have dry, flaky earwax. For most genes, when a person inherits 2 different alleles, the resulting trait is a combination of the 2 different alleles. Most genes in humans have more than 2 alleles in the population and are not completely dominant or recessive. The alleles for blood type are a good example of this. 3 alleles determine whether a person has type A, B, AB, or O blood. Do you know what type blood you have? Interesting. It's an interesting piece of information about yourself that, you know, perhaps you know. Keep in mind that even though there are 3 possible alleles in the population, an individual can only have 2 of these alleles, 1 from each parent. The A and B alleles control the production of tags A and B on the surface of red blood cells. These tags help cells recognize each other in the body. The O allele makes neither tag. Both alleles A and B are dominant to allele O. So a person with either AA or AO alleles makes tag A and has type A blood. A person with either BB or BO alleles makes tag B and has type B blood. Since A and B alleles are dominant to each other, a person with one A allele and one B allele makes both tags and has type AB blood. A person with OO alleles makes neither tag and has type O blood. Go figure. Check this out. Here's a chart. Proteins and traits. Blood type. Their alleles. Does it have protein A? Does it have protein B? Check this out. Okay? So these are the possible allele combinations for the different types of blood. All right? So before we check for understanding, we want to just learn a little bit more about Mr. Mendel. Who is he? You know, a little more detail. A little more detail. Let's take a look at this video. I mean, he discovered a lot. He's contributing a lot to science. We need to know a little bit more about him. Check this out.
Monk, teacher, and biologist, Gregor Mendel is known today as the father of modern genetics.
Gregor Mendel's experiments on pea plants were fundamental in establishing the field of modern genetics.
Born Johann Mendel on July 22, 1822, in what was Austria and is now the Czech Republic, Mendel excelled at school and became an Augustinian monk to further his education. He was given the name Gregor when he entered the monastery.
The monastery sent him to the university in Vienna, and that gave him the education in science, math, chemistry, and botany that he then brought back to use in his teaching.
Mendel accepted a teaching position at the monastery in Brno after completing his university studies. It was during this period he began his famous pea plant experiments.
Before Mendel, people thought you would equally inherit the traits of parent A and parent B in equal proportions.
Mendel experimented with pea plants and found that instead there were dominant and recessive traits in all organisms that were passed on statistically based upon the mixing of genes between the two parents.
This theory is now known as the law of segregation. Mendel also formulated the law of independent assortment.
The law of independent assortment addressed the fact that there are a large number of traits. These traits are passed on randomly and are independent of the other traits and of the traits of the two different parents.
The ability to explain hereditary diseases and to engineer plants with desired properties are all consequences of the fundamental theory founded by Mendel.
During his life, Gregor Mendel's research was disregarded by almost everyone. It wasn't until the early 1900s, after his death, that Mendel's work was appreciated and now serves as the basis for genetics and heredity.
In his later years, Mendel became the abbot of his monastery and spent less time with his scientific endeavors. Gregor Mendel died in 1884 at the age of 62.
Gregor Mendel's work laid the foundation for modern genetics, for modern gene therapy, and is the basis for some of the most exciting discoveries in medicine currently and in the near future.
What an awesome person to contribute so much information. See what it is to excel academically? You can contribute so much to the world. Let's all do our part. I know you have a great part to do. I'm looking forward to witnessing it. Yes, I am. Yep. Be sitting somewhere watching, looking, saying, oh my gosh, I used to know. Oh, look at all the awesome things happening. Always knew he or she was an awesome person. See what I'm saying? I just want to have that memory of you. I just want to be able to say that, yes, I see great things in your future. Let's bring it. All right, let's check for understanding. Check for understanding. Select the statement that is true. Check this out. Ooh, boy, you ever try to whisper in someone's ear and they have a lot of earwax? Strange moment. Do you still choose to whisper in there, or do you just kind of like, never mind, not even worth talking about it? I can't. Just share your answer in the comment section. I don't know. Anyway, select the statement that is true. Oh boy. The dominant, this picture is just making me think about it. The dominant and recessive pattern of inheritance is found only in pea plants. Come on now. B, all human genes have only 2 alleles, including one that is dominant and one that is recessive. C, human earwax texture is controlled by 1 gene with 12 alleles. We talked about today. Most genes in humans have more than 2 alleles and are completely dominant or recessive. Let's try D. Let's try. Correct. Bingo, bingo. The other ones were like way out there. No. All right, let's look at our questions for Lesson 9, Section 7. Make sure you put your answers in your TCI notebook. So it says, do all genes have a simple dominant recessive relationship between 2 alleles? What is an example of a human trait that does have this relationship between its alleles? We know this. You know this. Yes. No, not all genes have a simple dominant recessive relationship between 2 alleles. However, one that does is earwax texture. We talked about this today. Make sure you jot this down. 2 says, which word best describes how many alleles there are for most genes? 1, 2, or multiple? For most genes. Which would you pick? Me too. Multiple. Yep. 3, blood type alleles are a great example of how alleles work together when they don't have a simple dominant recessive relationship. What are the 3 possible blood type alleles? We know this. So easy, right? I agree. A, B, and O. Got it. All right, when a person inherits the following combinations of alleles, which is dominant? Remember, the answer can be one of the alleles or both of the alleles. Here we go. What do you think? If someone received A and B, okay, which is dominant? What about A and O, which is dominant? What about B and O, which is dominant? Let's take a look. A and B both be dominant. A and O, just A. And B and O, just B. All right, make sure you put this in your notebook. I think this lesson was pretty straightforward, you know. Straightforward, you know. Yeah, I know you got it. So let's go to our essential question. What does the texture of your earwax have to do with Mendel's pea plant? Earwax texture is a human trait that follows the same dominant and recessive pattern of inheritance Mendel found in pea plants. Good job. Nice work. Let's wrap it up. Oh yeah. Let's go. It's Friday. Let's go. It's Friday. I don't know what you're gonna do for the weekend, but please make sure you stay safe. I don't know what you're gonna do for the weekend, but please make sure you stay safe. Have fun, but be safe. Have fun, but be safe. Have fun, but be safe. Have fun, be safe. Don't know what you're gonna do for the weekend, but make sure that you are safe. Oh, you are safe. Oh, you are safe. Let's wrap this up. It's been fun. It's been real. We break it down and pick up science skills. Give yourself 2 claps just for tuning in. Come back, meet tomorrow. We can learn again. Oh, it's been fun. It's been real. We break it down and pick up science skills. Give yourself 2 claps just for tuning in. Come back, meet tomorrow. We can learn again. Have an awesome weekend. I will see you next week. Thank you for tuning in. Stay amazing. Peace.